Nigeria is truly blessed with an abundant amount of traditional recipes. Now, making these recipes reminds us so much of home and helps us keep our food culture alive. Today, I'm going to be making a yummy, mouth-watering pot of soup from the eastern part of Nigeria. This one is quite popular and it's not very popular amongst other tribes as well. I'm talking of none other than Ofe-Nsala, also popularly known as white soup. Now today I'm going to be using some chicken pieces to make my Ofe-Nsala, but the traditional recipe actually uses some catfish. But if you don't have catfish, you can definitely also use some chicken, and you can use any protein of your choice as well. You can use goat meat, also known as shavon. You can put all those assorted meats and stuff into it. Just go wild and have fun, okay? But just ensure that you also make use of some smoked fish and some stockfish. All right, enough talking. Let me walk you through the process of making the most mouth-watering Ofe-Nsala recipe ever. Before we go on, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Join our family. We have lots of other recipes to share with you on the channel. Lots of recipes that actually also celebrate our culture as Nigerians. I mean, we need to let the world know that indeed we are truly blessed with good food here. So subscribe and join the family. Let's spread this good love together with the rest of the world as well. Like this video if you like what you see, and do not forget to share the link with your friends and family so that days we can learn how to make something new as well. All right guys, let's get right into this video, shall we? So I believe that the one reason a lot of people have fallen in love with Ofe-Nsala is not just because of how amazing and mouth-watering it tastes, but it's also because of how easy and quick it is to make it. I already have a pot heating up on medium heat. What I'm going to do right now is just transfer the chicken thighs into the pot. Now I'm using chicken as my protein of choice, and I'm using the thighs because I find that they are the most flavorful parts of the chicken. But you can use any chicken part of your choice, okay? Now that's the sizzle that I love to hear. Afterward, I'm going to throw in the stockfish. You cannot make Ofe-Nsala without using stockfish. And then I'm also throwing in some smoked dry fish as well. All of these fishes will help add tons of flavor to the recipe. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to go ahead right now and season this with some pepper. I'm using atarodo, which is the fresh pepper. I'm using the yellow one, a combination of the yellow one and the red one as well, because I find that combining both of them actually helps lend an amazing flavor to the dish. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic. Now, I know a lot of people will come for me for adding garlic to Ofe-Nsala, but I love to add it because I find that it actually also makes it more tasty. But you can totally leave it out if you do not want to add garlic, okay? So just 1 teaspoon of garlic paste goes in there. I'll also throw in some seasoning cube powder. This is just some chicken seasoning cubes to just help amplify the taste. Like I said, this soup is one of the easiest soups to make, and everything happens like really, really fast. I'm just seasoning with some salt. And then at this point, I'm just going to throw in some water to help create the base for the Ofe-Nsala. So you can add as much water as you want or as little as you want. It depends on the quantity of soup you're making, but just ensure that you season it correctly, okay? I'll grab a spoon and then move this around just so that everything is submerged into the water. I'm already salivating and me like it. This already looks so good. So before I cover the pot, I'm going to be throwing in some yam cubes because I'm using yams as my thickener of choice for this particular soup. You need a thickener. So you can either use yams, you can use achi powder if that's what you have. You can also use corn flour. I know that some people use corn flour to make theirs as well, if that's what you have. And then you can, but I don't think you can use cocoa yam for Ofe-Nsala. So it's either just yam or achi or corn flour, that will do. So I'm just going to throw in the yams at this point so that I can soften them up before I blend them in my blender. And then all that I'm going to do now is just cover the pot and bring this to a gentle simmer for about 5 to 7 to 8 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Now, the one thing that I love about Ofe-Nsala is its very rich and unique aroma. And then while we were filming just before we came back, someone asked, why is it called white soup? I believe it's called white soup because it doesn't make use of any form of palm oil or tomato puree. It's just like, it's giving you pepper soup vibes, but a little bit thicker because of the yams that we are adding to thicken things up, okay? So at this point, I have my blender here. I'm just going to scoop out all of the yam pieces from the pot because they should be soft by now. I merely just wanted to cook them up slightly to get them softened, but they will go back into the pot after I'm done blending them into a puree. So I think that this is the last one. Ensure that you fish out every yam piece. Oh, I think there's one more. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw that in there and then just be sure that I don't have any more yam pieces in the soup. Okay, yeah, so before I continue, I'm going to throw in some of the major ingredients that make Ofe-Nsala a traditional soup. And the first major one would be the ogiri. Now, this is a local ingredient that helps add lots of flavor to this soup, and it's made from fermented seeds. You definitely want to add it into your Ofe-Nsala, and if you don't, it's not an authentic Ofe-Nsala recipe. So I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of the ogiri. Now remember that there's a difference between ogiri and ogiri. I'm using ogiri for this, and I'm just going to use the back of my spoon to mesh it into the soup, just so that we don't have any bulk pieces of the ogiri in the soup. Okay, the second traditional ingredient that makes this an authentic Ofe-Nsala would be the crayfish powder. You need to add lots and lots of crayfish to the pots of soup when you're cooking. I don't know if there's any Nigerian soup that you don't make with crayfish. Crayfish also adds tons and tons of flavor to your soup as well. I'm just gonna, yeah. And then afterwards, I'll just give this another stir, just move things around slightly. Already smells so amazing. It looks so divine. I just love what I see. I'm going to cover up now and allow it to continue cooking while I blend up the yams, which will help as the thickener for this soup. Okay, so that's the blending all done now. Let me show you the consistency of the yam puree. It's really very smooth and silky, and you don't want any yam bits so that it will dissolve very well in the soup, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just open up the pot and then just put the yam puree in bits at different points. Okay, so this will be the last scoop. All right, I think this will be more than enough to thicken up the soup. And then what I'm going to do at this point is just cover up the pot and allow this to just dissolve gently into the Ofe-Nsala, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Now, when you see me doing a dab in my kitchen, you know that I am definitely doing something right. The aroma here is on 100 and I'm loving it. Look at that, guys. Now, some of the yam puree has dissolved nicely into the soup, but I can still see some. So I'm just going to dissolve it with the back of my spoon. So you can see that the yam has helped thicken up the soup slightly. It will continue to thicken up as it cooks. Now, if you want the soup a little bit thicker than what it is now, what you can do is go ahead and add more yams. That's totally up to you, but I think that I love the consistency. So I'm just going to cover the pot again and allow this to continue cooking for another 3 to 4 minutes. And then afterwards, it will be time to throw in all of the vegetables, and then we're done with our Ofe-Nsala. It's time for the final action. This is looking really good, I must say. And I love the sound of soup bubbling really nicely in the pot. It gives me so much life, like literally. Look at that, guys. See, you can see that the soup has actually thickened up again slightly, and that's exactly what you want, right? So the final ingredient that I'm going to throw into my pot of Ofe-Nsala will be some Utazi and Uziza leaves. Now, this is also what makes it an authentic Ofe-Nsala soup. Now, you need to be very careful when you're making use of Utazi leaves, because Utazi leaves can be very bitter when you add it. So I'm just going to add a small quantity of that, but I really like the flavor that it gives the soup. Okay, so just a little bit of the Utazi, and then you can use as much of the Uziza as you want. I don't like to add a lot of vegetable to my Ofe-Nsala because I want to keep the Ofe-Nsala as clear as possible. Like, I really love the color of it because it's supposed to be white soup, right? So let's keep things very clear. So I'm just gonna move things around again just to combine the vegetables together. Oh my God, you guys. I'm literally in Ofe-Nsala heaven right now. I absolutely love what I see. This for me is perfection in a pot. Look at that. Okay, so I think we are as good as done right now. I'm just going to take this out of the heat and then turn it off while I prepare some poundo yam off camera, and then I'll show you how to plate this up, serve it, and then we can have the taste test. I know that there's really no one who would not love this yummy Ofe-Nsala soup, also known as white soup. This looks amazing. Some people like to serve their soup and their swallow on the same plate. You can serve it in different plates. It's totally up to you. And you can use any swallow of your choice to enjoy this yummy dish. I'm using some poundo yams for this. You can use gari, that's eba. You can use semovita, you can use fufu. Whatever it is you like, just go ahead and do you, okay? I'm just gonna give this a quick taste. This meal is best enjoyed with your hands. So just cut out some of that swallow, and oh, this is the most interesting part for me. I mean, I deserve a good treat, and I just got one. The thing about this soup is, once you start, you can never stop. So, tastes amazing. You definitely should try it out, okay? I've taken you on a journey to the eastern part of Nigeria without actually traveling there. Now you have a taste of what Ofe-Nsala tastes like. I hope you'll be making it for yourself, for your family, and for your friends as well. And then if you know anyone who would love to learn how to make this soup, do share the link with them as well so that they too can learn something new as well. I'll see you next time with another mouth-watering and delicious recipe. Until then, it's me, the queen of fun and fast cooking, signing out right now. Take care, guys.